Okay guys, hey, just to show you, this is what we're going after. This is that same pattern, and this was made out of an ice saw blade. It's a little thicker on the spine, and I fully polished this one out. I don't intend to do that with this one. What I intend to do with this one is do a rust blue finish on it, and the only thing that'll be cleaned up will be the edges of the spine and around the handle and the grind line. So how do you do that? Well, this is a part of a process, but don't tell the wife I'm using her Tupperware. And here is the star of this show. It's basically apple cider vinegar, and yeah, it's just going to etch it. Simple as that. So I'm going to let that sit and have a bath for a few hours, maybe half a day, and we'll get back to it. But it's pretty impressive. I did basically take this to a grinding wheel and, wire wheeled it. So it's pretty smooth already, but I just want to get the rest of that rust out. So, all right, we'll pick it up again in a few minutes. Okay guys, so obviously I've taken this out of the bath and dried it, and came out pretty good. The other thing I've done is I've brought up the angle of the grind. I wasn't happy with that low grind, so yeah. So next we got a couple of things we got to do, and one of the first things is get rid of this bath, and I need to mark my pin location. So basically all I do is I use these two reference marks from knives I've made in the past on this pattern, and just adjust things a little bit. So yep, there we are, centered. There's one. This one I want to bring back a little. So there's the other mark, and you can't probably see them there, but I can see them, and I'll take a regular pin basically and deepen that before I drill it. So that's one thing. I want to get those done, and right here I need to create a choil. So it's a semicircle, which makes it nice for sharpening. You have a definitive line that you go to instead of trying to ride up on the plunge cut. So I'll put that in. I'll put these two in. We're going to wrap this blade in tape, and there's a couple little tricks here. Now this is hardened steel. I tested it. It is, a file just absolutely skates on it. So that makes it difficult to drill your holes. So there's two options. One is to spot anneal an area. You can do it with a torch. Not everybody has a torch, but everybody can go to their local hardware store and buy a masonry bit. So we're going to bore these holes with masonry bits because they will go through hardened steel. And I'm going to probably use a rotary grinder to make the choil because it's just going to be miserable trying to do it with a round file. But we'll try it. And so those are the things that happen soon. And next time you see this, there's going to be, this is going to be up on the drill press, and we're going to be showing you how to do these two holes with a masonry drill. Okay guys, stay tuned. Okay guys, so in this case, the chainsaw file is going to do the trick, and got just the right size. And basically, I need a finer file in this case. Hold on. That's it. There we go. That's better. Okay guys, so I'm going to use a chainsaw file. I decided to do the choil. I just got to start nice and clean here and open it up. Chainsaw files are kind of designed to cut hardened steel, so I'm going to go a little bit more. I think we got it. So I'll kind of zoom in a little bit, I guess, on that. We'll take it out of the vise, and as you can see, there's the choil. It'll make it nice and easy for somebody to sharpen. So right there. And tape's kind of covering it up. It's about a half moon, so ought to work. All right, next is let's get these holes drilled, and then we're gonna, once we get to that point, it's going in the tempering oven twice. So one thing, even though it's been hardened, I've worked it, and I think it should be retempered. So I'm going to do two 2-hour cycles at 400 degrees. All right, stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so I've got the choil formed, and I don't know if you can really see them well, but there's my pin locations. And I'm going to pre-drill with an 1/8 inch masonry bit, plenty of oil, fairly slow speed. I know, there's formulas for how fast you should cut, but in this case I'm not using them. I know by experience to go slow with this. And I have a clamp that mounts to my drill press. So we're pretty much all set to go. Tighten some things up, put a dot of oil in right there. We're going to turn it on and we're going to get the hole cut. So here we go. Now this would just chew up drill bits. It would absolutely destroy them and you'd not get through it. But just going slow like this, plenty of oil to take out the chips. And you can hear it just squeal a little bit. That's because it's going through. We're going to go really light here. Here we go. We're through. Okay, that's one. And this clamp prevents this from helicoptering, for one thing, and it gets my hands out of the picture. So I see a lot of guys that don't use them, and I cringe because that's a great way to really get sliced up. So we're going to, let's see how we want to do this. We'll change the angle of this a little bit so we can clamp it, get ourselves centered on that hole. Nice. And clamped. Okay. Same routine. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this. I'm not trying to force it through. So as you can see, it's starting to fill up with chips, and I'm dry at this point. It doesn't really lubricate so much as it enables the chips to get pulled out of the hole, which helps. And it keeps things cool. So pretty quick we'll be just about there. Still got oil in there. And you can hear it. Drop a little on there. And we're through. I'll leave that light on. So there you go guys, there's the 2 pinholes. I'm going to put a series of holes now for the purpose of having the, in this case, I'm actually using Gorilla Glue, believe it or not, but it goes through and it binds to the other side. So these are the 2 primary holes. We'll enlarge them to 3/16 or 1/4 inch, and those will be the pin locations, and then there'll be a kind of a mishmash of just holes drilled to help bond this thing together when it's finally put together, the scales are put on it. So okay, I'm going to do that next. You don't need to watch that, but the next thing I'll do is show you the way we're going to temper this. So I'll be back in a few. Okay guys, one other thing, we've got a chamfer bit. I forgot to say anything about that, but I like to chamfer my holes. Get rid of any high ridges, make things insert easy. Especially the pins, it helps them line up. If nothing else, just the pinholes would be great. It's a really simple process. We'll just do this side. It goes really quick. I don't clamp this down. I'm not worried about it helicoptering. And that's it. All there is to it. All the holes are chamfered. Alrighty guys, so you can see we've pretty much got the blade ground. We've got our two 3/16 inch holes cut, and we've got our random pattern of holes for holding everything together when the scales are on, done. The choil is in, and what you see here in the background is a tempering oven. It's all it is a toaster oven, but I've got it going to 400 degrees right now. I'm going to lean my knife up in there, and we're probably going to do 2 cycles of this. And the first cycle I'm probably going to go for an hour and 15 minutes. And what we're after is a really nice golden kind of coppery color on that ground blade, and then you know you got it. So give me a little bit of time. I'll come back and we'll go through the process, and I'll show you what the finished blade looks like, ready for scales. Okay guys, this is the second thermal cycle, and let's see if we can grab this without losing it. Really just barely has a straw color to it this time, but first time it came out it was really a darker version of straw, so I'm pretty happy. I'm calling it good. So turn this off, and next trick is I'm going to blue this. So probably clean it up once on the grinder, and then we're going to blue it. And then tomorrow I think the day is going to be the day to put the scales on it. So we're getting there. It's going to look like a nice knife, I think. So alright guys, next step is bluing. Okay guys, so I've heated it up so it's just warm to the touch. This is the last thing I'm going to do today, and basically I'm just going to do a little bit of bluing on it. Don't really care where I hit, and I'm using Birchwood Casey paste, which I really like, and I've learned that if you use it warm, you get great results. I'm going to let this probably sit for a few hours, and then I'll clean it off, and I'll be ready for tomorrow for the final grind on this and clean up, and then we'll start the scale process. So yeah, that's it for the day. A little bit of cleanup, and tomorrow will be another day. We'll work on putting scales on this baby. But very pleased, good results. You know, a couple hours today, and we're really starting to have a knife. So stay tuned for the next video. This is the third segment and the end of it, and the final segment's tomorrow. We're going to well, maybe not the final. We may make a sheath for this baby. So at any rate, tomorrow we're going to put scales on and get them all prettied up. All right guys, you have a good day.